Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Today, we're taking a look at a really critical perspective on technology and business strategy. This comes from an insightful article by Shad, which was published on LinkedIn. It gets to the heart of why so many businesses seem to be stuck, even with the AI boom all around us. Now, this idea is probably something you're very familiar with. We are all inundated with AI solutions, right? Every single one promises to boost efficiency and drive growth. From automating our workflows to giving us these complex data dashboards, the tech world really seems to be offering a clear-cut path to success. And yet, that brings us to a major paradox. If we have this abundance of incredible, advanced tools at our fingertips, why are so many companies failing to see any real, sustainable growth? Well, this is the core question that Shad's analysis really digs into. So the analysis starts by diagnosing the root of the problem, and it's a fundamental misunderstanding of what technology is supposed to do. The issue, as Shad explains it, really pops up when a company's adoption of technology starts to outpace its own strategic vision. Shad identifies three really common mistakes. First, you have leaders chasing after the latest tech trend without any clear idea of how these tools are actually going to serve their company's unique mission. Second, they just copy what their competitors are doing instead of carving out their own distinct place in the market. And third, they tend to hide behind a lot of complex jargon, when what customers really want is just authentic, clear communication. And this brings us right to the central thesis of the article. AI is an incredibly powerful tool for optimization. No question about it. It can make your processes better, faster, and more efficient. But it cannot create that initial spark. That spark, the vision that ignites growth, that inspires your team, that captures the market's attention, that has to come from human leadership. So after diagnosing the problem, the article pivots to the solution, and it argues that the answer isn't just throwing more technology at the problem. Instead, it's about taking a more human-centric approach, one that's all about building your brand through trust. What's really powerful here is how this redefines what a personal brand even is. We're not talking about logos or fancy taglines. Instead, a strong brand is simply the trust that you've earned over time by showing up consistently and reliably, especially when things get tough. This slide does a brilliant job of showing the two competing mindsets. On one side, you've got the leaders who blend in. They wait for the perfect moment, they build in secret, and they avoid taking a stand because they're afraid of criticism. But on the other side, you have leaders who stand out. They lead with bold ideas, they share their process openly, and they anchor their brand in real substantive values. And the market almost always rewards that second approach. So the article then shifts from theory into practice. It gives us a really actionable framework for building a business that can not only survive but actually thrive in a world that's more and more automated. And this framework is built on three key pillars. The first is transparency. You have to share the whole journey, struggles included, because that's what builds authenticity. The second is introspection. You've got to be willing to ask those tough strategic questions, because that's essential for any real progress. And third is connection. You have to prioritize real human relationships over just transactional sales pipelines. That's how you build a loyal, engaged community. Ultimately, what this tells us is that a lasting competitive advantage isn't going to be built on technology alone. It's forged from a combination of these uniquely human qualities: a relentless sense of curiosity, a genuine talent for connecting with other people, and the courage to constantly challenge your own assumptions, day in and day out. And that brings us to the final thought in this analysis, which is all about the long-term impact of the choices that leaders make. The key takeaway here is to think of AI as a magnifier. It takes the strategy, the vision, and the values you already have in place, and it just amplifies them. It makes them bigger and louder. But what it can't do is create those things for you. And so the article leaves us with a very direct and, I think, provocative challenge. It asks us to think not about which new piece of tech we should adopt, but about which foundational, courageous decision we've been putting off. Because that, right there, is where real growth actually begins. Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, please consider using the QR code on your screen to buy us a coffee. Your support really does help us continue to produce this content. And to stay up to date with our latest overviews, please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. Liking, commenting, and sharing this video is truly the best way to help us reach a wider audience of professionals just like you.